Guys, so if you saw my last video about painting the back of your aquarium, this is what it looks like when it's done. So it did take 2 coats to get good coverage on there. The front of this tank is dirty, even though I cleaned it. It was kind of hard to see through there. I'm sure it'll look better once the water's in it. But I wanted to talk to you about dirt. So a lot of people out there, if they're gonna have a planted tank, use dirt under their substrate. Now, I've only used it in one tank, which is my brackish tank, and I don't know if the dirt is keeping the plants from growing as well, or if it's the brackish water and maybe the dirt is actually keeping the plants alive. So what I wanted to do is use some dirt in a freshwater tank with plants I know that should grow in fresh water very easily, and just do a little experiment on how well the dirt actually helps. So this dirt I literally dug up out of my backyard, and I have it in this because I threw it in the oven, and they say to do that just to kill off any bacteria. I did it at 275 for about an hour and a half, just because it's so thick. I probably really don't need this much dirt. I guarantee you I'm not going to use that much. You only need about ½ an inch, depending on how thick you want your substrate. I'm going to use about ½ an inch in this. I wouldn't go over 3/4 of an inch or so, because you're going to put another ½ inch of substrate on top of that. And if your substrate total thickness is too much, you'll start getting anaerobic conditions, which you don't want in your fish tanks. So I'm gonna put some dirt in here, and I will let y'all know. I'll show you what it looks like as soon as I get done with that. Alright guys, so I got my dirt in there, and what I've done, as you can see, there's a bunch of big chunks in here. So I've taken it and I've broken it up into smaller chunks, and the reason I did that was so that I could pick out any rocks. Now obviously rocks aren't going to benefit my plants any, so why have them in there? So I picked them out and try to pick out as much, any kind of debris or anything you find in there. As you can see, I only use about half that tray. Now I can take this and put it in a bag and save it because it's already been baked, instead of every time I need dirt digging up more dirt. So that's what it looks like. Now I am right now, and as you can see, it's not that thick at all. I mean, let me try to show you. I mean, some of these chunks are higher than most of the dirt is, but that's fine. I'll just go through here and kind of pack it down in there. It's only about ½ an inch. I don't want it too tight because I want my plants, when I put my plants in there, to be down in the dirt. So right now as far as the thickness, they always say less is more with dirt. So you can see right there, it doesn't even go above the plastic. I mean, that's how thin of a layer it is. So it doesn't need much. Now I'm out of regular substrate right now, so I have some lava rock. Some of them are kind of big chunks, but there's a bunch of fine smaller chunks in there. That's what I'm gonna use to cover this for right now, because that's all I got. So I'll try to pick out some of the bigger chunks, but let me put this in there and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, so I really thought that was going to be enough lava rock to cover the whole thing, but as you can see with the white rocks, it wasn't. It was that short. It's still pretty thin over here. But the idea here is just to cover up the dirt visually. You're gonna have some dirt that when you fill this up with water, you're gonna get dirt in your water column. It's just gonna happen. It's not a big deal. Some of it's gonna come up. You do a couple water changes, you'll get some of that out of your water column, and then the filter will get, you know, the rest of it out. So we're just trying to cover up the dirt visually to make it look more appealing, because the dirt's going to turn into mud, and mud's not that good looking. So we're just trying to cover it up here. So now that we have it like that, I'm going to put some water in here and probably do a couple water changes, but I'll keep y'all posted on how it's going. Alright, now as I'm filling this up, I'm not concerned about filling it with treated water, but I am concerned about letting the water dig underneath my substrate and dig more of the dirt out than is already going to come out. So I just put it on this plate. I'm going to fill it up. Like I said, I'm going to fill it up a couple times and drain it. I don't know if you can already see, I'm starting to get floaty stuff. That's going to happen. That's actually from the lava rock, but I'll have some of it from the dirt. So I'll show you what it looks like, how cloudy it is this first time, and then we'll do a couple water changes and see if we can't clear it up. Alright guys, so it's not horribly cloudy, which is good. There is a bunch of floating debris, but no big deal. Now I'll drain this. So I'll drain this. I guess it's siphoning back through because it's definitely draining on its own. I guess once I turned the pump off, it just started siphoning backwards, I guess. Because there's no water leaking out of it. Well, that's good if it'll do that. That way I don't have to switch the pump around. I can just drain it back to where it's pumping from, which is the bathtub, like always. But it's definitely siphoning backwards. Cool. Alright, so I'll drain it and fill it a couple more times till I get it clear, and then we'll throw some plants in here. So hang with me. Alright guys, so I filled it and drained it 3 times, and now as you can see it's pretty clear. It looks a lot clearer in person, but this is an old tank, so it has a bunch of marks and scratches and stuff on it. But you get the idea. So I'm gonna grab some plants, throw some plants in here, and show y'all what that looks like. Alright guys, I got a few plants in here. I'm sure over the next day or two I'll add some more. Just wanted to give you, a little shot of some plants in here. And we'll see how this experiment goes. We'll see how well the dirt helps, or if it helps at all. I can't imagine it wouldn't, but we'll see how fast this stuff grows compared to some of my tanks that do not have dirt in them. So I'll keep y'all up to date, and I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you on the next one.